but he's doing them for the wrong reasons. He's doing them because it's fun. Well, yeah, I mean, the things Trump has done that. Yeah, I don't think he can't come
up, what up, what up, what up? Jordan Sheridan live on a Friday, January 4th, 2018. This is Status Coup. Status Coup, baby. I'm wearing my Status Coup hat, so you know I'm serious. It's been a busy, busy day. I'm not going to be able to be live as long as I normally am today. Have to go visit a friend in the hospital. So I won't be live as long as I usually am, but I will be live for some important stories. I hope everyone's having a lovely, lovely day in this chaos. Press the share button. Let's get this out to as many people. You know, it's so interesting. It's so interesting that, obviously Status Coup is on YouTube. And it's really interesting because if I go back and look, every time that I publicly go after YouTube on Twitter, where I point out that they're denying and declining my anti-war videos access. So again, I got demonetized for an anti-war video, the third anti-war video in 2 weeks that has been demonetized on this channel. Whenever I publicly ask YouTube for an explanation, and this week I asked YouTube for an explanation, why, let me show you actually. I will show you on the screen so you see exactly what's going on. So there's my YouTube channel. So if we go to, let's go to another video, shall we? We'll go to another video. Let's go to this one. If we click edit, so you're seeing the behind the scenes, we're going to click edit here. If you go to advanced settings, you see right here, it says publish to subscription feed. Publish to subscription feed and notify subscribers. Anybody notice that that's disabled on this channel here on YouTube? Very, very interesting. Why is that disabled? It says it's happening. There's a check mark, but it's disabled. Does anybody find that odd? So I asked YouTube on Twitter, can you explain this to me? Because I've been complaining for basically since we started this channel in March that subscribers are not getting notified when we're live, that subscribers aren't even seeing the videos. They're not even seeing the videos in their subscription feed. And subscribers are getting manually unsubscribed. So I asked YouTube, do you mind explaining that to me? And whenever I go live, whenever I publicly call out YouTube, all of a sudden there's less viewers here on the channel. Interesting. Very interesting. It's almost like there's a switch that a human operates at YouTube. That if a channel or a host calls out YouTube for clear suppression of certain channels, they suppress you even more. But I'm still going to call them out because that's how I roll, and I'm going to tell the truth. So, you know the drill. There's a checklist here. Everybody right now, smash that like button. Smash it. Smash it like it's a Democratic Party talking pay-go. The more people that like, the more people who will see this channel. So we have 75 people watching right now and only 37 likes. We need to get that up to 76 likes. So as I tell you every day, gotta like. Even if you dislike me, just press the like button. The algorithm works that the more people that press that like button, the more people will see the stream. I don't know why, but that's how it goes. Patrick getting me started on the super chat. Oh no, my virgin ears. $2 in the super chat. By the way, Patrick, check your email. If you're the Patrick that lives in New Hampshire, I emailed you the other day. I hope you got it. You emailed me like 8 months ago, and I was just cleaning out my email, and I didn't respond to you. So I just responded to your email the other day. So check it out. Smash that like button. Become a member at Status Coup. If you don't know, we do have our member contest going on. If we get to 165 members by the end of January, we are going to let one lucky member pick the story that Ty and I go out in the field on next. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that contest. I'll remind you about it in a little bit. Follow us at Status Coup on Twitter. Subscribe to our podcast. bit.ly/That Status Quo Podcast. You could go to the Evil Empire Facebook and like us at facebook.com/status quo. 85 people watching, only 46 likes. Joe, yes, I did ask why the button is disabled on Twitter, and that was 3 days ago. They haven't gotten back to me. Isn't that interesting? Every single time I publicly call out YouTube, the views on the channel go down and subscriber growth stops. It's almost like there's a human being at YouTube turning on and off a switch. So I'm not going to stop calling out YouTube because this is clear suppression and censorship. And I just talked to Lee Camp about this. I just recorded an interview with Lee Camp before I went live, and that's going to air during our live Sunday Super Chat / GoFundMe marathon. So Jen's out for a while, so I will be operating the chat while I'm live. So here's the GoFundMe link, and here is the Status Quo membership link. Please check out both. We do appreciate if you could contribute to the GoFundMe. We're asking first and foremost for GoFundMe contributions rather than Super Chat. You could do both, but we're really trying to focus on that GoFundMe right now. So I have a scandalous story. A congresswoman, a progressive congresswoman, has said fuck. Oh my God. They said fuck. Oh my God. CNN, MSNBC, the establishment is in an uproar that new Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, representing the great city of Detroit, has dropped an F-bomb. If you haven't seen it, here it is, folks. Scandalous. As it loads and the advertisement plays.
Newly sworn in Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib on there we're gonna and I said you want your son, and when your son looks at you and says, "Mama, look, you won," bullies don't win. And I said, "Baby, they don't, because we're gonna go in there, we're gonna impeach the motherfucker." All right, we're back with David Gregory, MJ Lee, and Alex Burns. MJ, she knows that people are holding cameras up like this, just taping it. So she's not, this wasn't like a hot mic moment. Right. This was a message. And I think that you can hear already that a lot of the freshman class is filled with vim and vigor, as my euphemism for something else. And so will we see some flame throwing? I mean, is this a style that they're coming to Washington with that they think will be effective?
I mean, probably. And, particularly on the impeachment issue, yes, this is not the kind of language that we're used to hearing from sworn-in members on Capitol Hill. However, we do know that the issue of impeachment is one that people around the country think about, and obviously...
So that was actually the most tame response I saw on cable news today. Oh my God. CNN and MSNBC, not in that segment, but every other segment I've seen, has been an absolute, oh my God, there's cursing in this establishment? Oh my God, this is not how you act as an elected official? Oh my God, she doesn't know how Washington works. First of all, and I've already been demonetized because I curse, I say, fuck. There needs to be more fucks in Congress. And we need to hear Rashida Tlaib and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ro Khanna. Yes, they're professionals and congressmen. But as I tweeted earlier, can we get Rashida Tlaib to say, hey, why is the motherfucking water in Flint, Michigan still fucking poisonous after 5 fucking years? In April, it's going to be 5 years. Can we get a fuck over that? So, they're freaking out that she said a curse word. So I have no problem with her or anyone else cursing. And I do want to point out the hypocrisy. I didn't hear cable news or politicians or anybody saying a word in outrage over this.
I want to thank this amazing campaign of people, not a dime from a single pack, all people, all the time, in every single part of Texas. All of you showing the country how you do this. I'm so fucking proud of you guys. Just now.
Ooh, Beto O'Rourke with the tongue. Beto O'Rourke. But now he's the new Obama. He cursed. He cursed. But I didn't hear anyone freaking out. Literally, there's been segment after segment after segment after segment on MSNBC and CNN today about Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. By the way, one of two. She is one of two first Muslim women elected to the U.S. Congress. Historic. You don't really hear that much in the coverage. It's that, oh my God, she cursed. Dirty, dirty word. Oh my God, she said this in front of her son? Her son? And remember, folks, smash the like button. 128 people watching, only 58 likes. Some of you are slacking. We need you to press that like button. The more people that press the like button, the more people that see the live stream. That's how it works. That's how it works. So, Rashida Tlaib cursed. And I say, great. But here's where I slightly disagree with Rashida Tlaib. And I want to be clear. I want to be clear of something. I recognize that I am a white man saying this. I recognize that I'm a white man saying this. So there is a certain amount of white privilege in all white people. Even if we care about black people, even if we care about equality for black people, both economically, socially, we all have white privilege. So I understand that for Rashida Tlaib, Trump is a more, inherently, he would be more of a clear and present danger to her than necessarily me, because she is Muslim. And Trump basically took off with Islamophobia and birtherism against President Obama. And obviously, you know, we're going to ban all Muslims from the country, and just disgusting, vile language. So I, as a white person saying this, I understand that for her, impeaching Donald Trump is a priority. And viscerally, she wants to see it done because Donald Trump is threatening Muslims, not just in America, but around the world. So I want to make sure that it's clear that I totally understand it. However, I have no problem with her dropping, you know, motherfucking F-bombs. You know, it is a motherfucking disgrace at the income inequality in this country. It's a motherfucking disgrace at the fossil fuel companies basically being given carte blanche to destroy our planet, our water, our animals, and our air. It is a motherfucking disgrace that black men are being executed all over America with no real justice for those black men. And black men can't leave their apartments in safety. Hell, they can't even live in their apartments in safety. Look at the example of Botham Jean, executed in his own apartment. So I think she's right as far as I understand why she is calling for impeachment. However, because obviously she is Muslim, and Donald Trump has directly threatened Muslims. He is disgraceful. However, I think this is the wrong message, especially among the few newly elected actual progressives. Not in love with the fact that she voted for the new rules package that had PAYGO in there, if I'm keeping it real. But I don't think it's the right message that she's sending by the first things being said, we're going to fucking impeach Donald Trump. I don't think that's a good message for progressives. I do think eventually you're going to see that being the message of the Democratic Party. I do think overall that's going to be the message of Nancy Pelosi. She's playing it straight right now, saying we're not talking about impeachment. Trust me, they'll be talking about impeachment. Why? Because they want to talk about everything else. They want to distract and deflect onto everything else other than money in politics, other than the planet burning down, other than, basically crumbs to the workers. Essentially today, it just came out, unemployment went up from 3.7% to 3.9%. Why? And finally, CNN acknowledges because hundreds of thousands of people started looking for work again. Meaning the unemployment rate being low, a big part of it is hundreds of thousands of people have stopped looking for work. So this is not structurally a great economy. But I like Rashida Tlaib. I like what she stands for. I like her policies. But I think whether it's her or anyone else, they should not immediately, the first thing on their mind, be impeaching Donald Trump. She also wrote an op-ed piece in the Detroit Free Press calling on the impeachment of Donald Trump. I don't think this is a good strategy for progressives right out of the gate. And don't get me wrong, I don't like Donald Trump. I say be careful what you wish for, because you want to impeach Donald Trump, you got a much more you got a much nicer sounding, more competent radical who's going to get more toxic shit done in Mike Pence waiting in the wings. So be careful what you wish for in impeaching Donald Trump. But I don't think that should be the priority of Rashida Tlaib or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Ro Khanna or Pramila Jayapal or any progressives right now. Let the Mueller investigation be what it is. Let's see what the findings are. And let's focus. You're not going to defeat Donald Trump. You're not going to get progressive solutions. You're not going to get progressive legislation until you impeach the Democratic Party. You cannot defeat Donald Trump with a slightly nicer sounding Republican light version of the Democratic Party. They need to see the immediate thing that needs to be taken down is the Democratic Party. That's why they were elected, to take on the corporate Democratic establishment. So thank you, Maniac. 100. I always get this confused. Is that 100 euros or 100 pounds? I think that's euros, but I'm not sure. GoFundMe yesterday, Super Chat today. You did say we could do both. Maniac, theoretically, it's a total free country, so you could do both. Thank you for the 100 euros or pounds. Euros, okay. I always get confused between, there's two lines there. All right, 100 euros. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And remember, folks, we did raise the GoFundMe goal. I can't thank you guys enough for all the contributions. And we're doing a members contest, which I'm going to remind you about in a little bit. So, and there's the GoFundMe. And of course, here is the link if you want to check out our membership options. I'm doing double and triple duty because Jen's out right now. So I hope Rashida Tlaib keeps up the language. I don't want to see her and Ocasio-Cortez and these newly elected officials, play the Washington game and sound very nice and let's talk about bipartisanship. No, you got elected, burn down the village. You need to burn down the village. Oh, is that $113? 100 euros is $113? Is that right? Damn. If that's true, thank you very much. Maniac. I love you. I love you. I just got a $120 parking ticket, but none of the GoFundMe money is going to that. I got to pay that, unfortunately. So, I'm not talking about violence, of course. I'm talking about, again, I understand I'm white, and I understand why she feels so strongly about impeaching Donald Trump. She is one of two women that are the first Muslim women in Congress. It's historic and an amazing thing. It's wonderful to see Muslim Americans now representative in our government. It should have happened a long time ago. And I totally understand why Rashida Tlaib wants Donald Trump impeached. He has literally called for a ban of Muslims. He has increased Obama's drone program that's killing who the hell knows how many is the number, innocent Muslims around the world. Totally understand. But I don't think that is the right message. I think Rashida Tlaib, Ocasio-Cortez, Ro Khanna, Pramila Jayapal, Raul Grijalva, who I don't understand why he voted for the pay-as-you-go rule, they need to be united in going after the corporate Democratic establishment status quo. Because forget Trump. You're not going to defeat Trump until you force Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party to start listening to progressives. You're not going to defeat Trump. We've already seen what happens when you run a corporate establishment warmonger. And that's what they want to do again. They just want to do it maybe Beto, maybe Biden, maybe Booker, maybe Kamala. Not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. And remember, folks, smash that like button. I'm not seeing enough likes here. We got 171 people watching, but only 89 likes. So either some of you are sleeping, or some of you are grumpy, or some of you don't like me. But as I always say, you don't have to like me. Just like the live stream. Good evening from Denmark. Good evening, Renee. Good to have you. Smash that like button. Smash it in half. Smash it into pieces. So you have Rashida Tlaib. And now, again, I don't agree with that. I don't think the first thing out of progressive mouths should be impeaching Donald Trump. But now, just breaking, right before I came on air, just breaking, Pramila Jayapal introduces legislation to repeal the pay-as-you-go statute. Co-sponsoring it is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Today, Representative Pramila Jayapal, co-chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, introduced H.R. 242 to repeal the Pay-as-you-go Act of 2010. Statutory pay-as-you-go, or PAYGO, is currently law. To truly eliminate it, we have to change the law. Modifying the rules package is not enough. Quote, I have long been concerned about PAYGO and its legislative implications, and earlier this week I received a commitment from Rules Committee Chairman Jim McGovern to waive PAYGO for Medicare for All and other key progressive priorities. Taking it out of the rules package does not address the real problem, which is that it's a statutory requirement, said Congresswoman Jayapal. That's why today I am introducing legislation to repeal PAYGO and hold hearings immediately on why PAYGO is bad policy and bad for millions of working Americans who deserve a bold, visionary, progressive agenda. Other original co-sponsors include I don't know who Pocon is, Congressman McGovern, Congressman Ro Khanna, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Congressman Jerry Nadler, don't know Lee, don't know Velazquez, don't know Pinigre, Congressman Raskin, don't know Espillat, Jane Schakowsky, Congresswoman Jane Schakowsky, I don't know Clark, Congressman Raul Grijalva, and Serrano Gomez, don't know you. So you got some progressive heavyweights there, all of them actually, co-sponsoring PAYGO. And I got news for you folks, this is key. And let's see what Representative Ocasio-Cortez has to say about this. Here we go. Yesterday, we started a conversation with the rules package about ending pay-as-you-go, a political policy lacking economic merit that sabotages progress where Americans value it most. Healthcare, education, housing, and more. And climate change. Today, I'm proud to co-sponsor legislation with Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal to end it. And that's the legislation that I just talked about. So this is key. This is key. They are already taking it to Nancy Pelosi. This is basically, this is going after Nancy Pelosi and what she, not just she, but her donors hold near and dear. Because pay-as-you-go doesn't sound sexy. The majority of the country doesn't know what it is. But really, pay-as-you-go is one of the key legislative tools that the corporate Democratic establishment uses to act like they're being responsible and, you know, we're fiscally conservative. We're the fiscally conservative policy. In reality, it's just a mechanism that says, well, we can't do Medicare for all. You happy about that, Wall Street and Big Pharma? We're doing what you want. We can't do Medicare for all. We can't do free public college. We can't do a Green New Deal. We can't do. You mean Afghanistan war? You mean Syria? You mean Pakistan? You mean Somalia? You mean Iraq? You know, we don't have to pay as we go for that. But health care, yeah, we got to pay as we go. Oh, you know, free college, got to pay as you go. Green New Deal, got to pay as you go. Infrastructure, got to pay as you go. Heating for senior citizens, pay as you go. Social Security, Medicare, I think you're getting the hint. Ses Hamaru Thrist. PAYGO is a double-edged sword. If you keep it, you can't expand on progressive policies. If you lift it, you will get what we got before every time. 2008 bailouts, 2001 presents war. I disagree on that. I understand your point, but I disagree. I don't think getting rid of pay-as-you-go gives a blank check because they're already doing it. Pay-as-you-go, the Republicans have cut-as-you-go. They don't give a damn. They just blow up the debt deficit. But the thing is, and what you're going to learn this Sunday if you watch our marathon live stream, we have a huge Sunday this week. I just interviewed Steve Grumbine of Real Progressives, who has been hollering and screaming for 10 years about modern monetary theory. And we spoke for, I think, over an hour. We're going to air that on Sunday. Honestly, PAYGO is bullshit. The real issue is not debt and deficits. The government can pay for all of this. We have been lied to, and there has been a narrative and a brainwashing that we have to worry about the debt and we have to worry about the deficits. No, you don't. The government's already printing money for us to be in endless war around the world. The government prints money for banks when they crash the global economy. Our taxes don't, and I've been saying this wrong for a long time, but now I'm learning. Our taxes don't fully pay for our endless war or the bailouts. The government prints the money, and they don't even physically print it anymore. It's like key codes. So, PAYGO, tax cuts for the rich. Yeah. So, essentially, I love what Ocasio-Cortez is doing. I love what Ro Khanna is doing and Pramila Jayapal, Mark Pocan, thank you. They are taking it to Pelosi by offering legislation. And they are going to be able to speak to everything I'm saying, that we can pay for Medicare for all. We can pay for educating all Americans. We can pay for a Green New Deal. And they're also going to bring up the fact, does PAYGO count for the endless wars? Does PAYGO count for bailing out the banks, which we might have to do again? Because if you haven't been following, there's going to be another recession, might possibly at the end of this year, and there might be another crash due to the student loan bubble. What can we do to support our reps? I would start flooding Nancy Pelosi's line and make it a. If you have a daily list, a to-do list, you know, you got to brush your teeth, you got to take a shower. Most of you gotta. There's a lot of things you got to do. You got to eat three meals a day. What do they say? 8 ounces of water, 8 glasses of water. I say put it on your list. Politely harass Nancy Pelosi's office every day. Every day. Jordan's ear okay? Notary, what's wrong with my ear? I didn't know anything was wrong with my ear. Folks, 190 watching, only 111 likes. Let's keep it going. So I'm very encouraged. Oh, more people press the like button. More people press the like button. I'm extremely, extremely encouraged with them going after PAYGO. We'll see. Nancy Pelosi might very well try to sweep it under the rug, might try to talk like a fiscal hawk and say the Democratic Party, unlike the Republican Party, doesn't ignore deficits. But this is what Greece did. This is what the UK did in response to terrible income inequality, in response to people living paycheck to paycheck, and in response to incessant and growing poverty. They push austerity. Pay-as-you-go is an austerity measure. We don't need austerity in this country. By the way, it's not even a country. This is a corporation, the United Corporations of America. We don't need austerity. We need investment. If you invest in working people, if you invest in bringing back and investing in new manufacturing jobs, if you invest in clean energy jobs, wind, solar, renewables, you're going to have more people employed, more money in those people's pockets, and then more money going into the economy, and everybody does better. What a radical concept, right? What a radical concept. Bloody Money LLC. Kamala Harris is as close to the hypothetical corporate Democrat dream candidate I proposed. Gay, black, Latina woman who was a corporate lawyer before she was a hedge fund manager. Hey, Steve. Bloody Money, are you passing rumors? Not that I care if she is gay or is not gay, but to my knowledge, Kamala Harris isn't an openly gay woman, is she? Again, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just curious about that. I've never heard that before. Ses Hamaru 3. Now TYT is supporting HR 1 that gives tax money to campaigns regardless of if we get involved. I'm not going to bother with my old stomping grounds. I don't agree with most of what they do these days. Hello from Costa Rica, a country with single-payer healthcare system. I am happy I found your channel. Anat, I am happy you found the channel too. Consider, Anat, becoming a member. This is how we're going to grow long-term. You can become a member as low as $5 a month or $10 a month. We're also going to have other options. Right there is the link. We now have 75 members, and that hopefully is going to get us closer to 165. We have a contest going that I'm about to remind you about. We have a contest going to try and get 165 members by the end of January. I'll tell you about that in a minute. We're up to 75 now. So, and I've never been to Costa Rica. I hear it's a beautiful, beautiful country and wonderful that you have healthcare. So, the bottom line is I want to see more of Ocasio-Cortez, Ro Khanna, and this progressive bloc taking it to Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic establishment on austerity like pay-as-you-go and get into the national discussion. Enough with the obsession over the debt and deficit. The debt and the deficit are not the problems. The lack of jobs are the problems. The government can print money. And as you're going to learn in my interview with Steve Grumbine from The Real Progressives, which I'm airing Sunday, the government can cover these things. There is no debt crisis. It's a nonsense thing that plutocrats put out there to strangle spending and strangle investment in the proletariat. That's what's going on. So before I get to the next topic, remember to smash that like button. Remember to smash that like button. If you weren't here, we need more likes. The more people that like the live stream, the more people that see it. So if you weren't here yesterday, I have an awesome, awesome announcement and promotion. We have a big show this Sunday. Joining me on Sunday, Lee Camp of Redacted Tonight and Matt Taibbi of Rolling Stone magazine. I just recorded an interview with Lee Camp right before I went live here. We spoke about Trump already moonwalking away. He's already reneging and pulling back on his pledge to remove troops from Syria. We also talked about 2020 and the corporate propaganda that is already underway by the New York Times, the Washington Post, Politico, New York Magazine, the Daily Beast. I mean, on and on and on. Do I get funding from Rolling Stones? I wish I got funding from the Rolling Stones. No, I don't. But I'd take Rolling Stones money if they signed a contract that said they have no editorial control over status quo. So Lee Camp is going to be on this Sunday, as is Matt Taibbi of Rolling Stone. If you're not aware, Goldman Sachs is immersed in a mega scandal, almost on par with the global financial crash of 2008. They are being possibly sued by the Malaysian government because Goldman Sachs helped basically a Ponzi scheme happen, where rich people got richer and funneled money that was supposed to go into an investment project for the Malaysian government, but instead Goldman Sachs helped reroute it so people could literally buy more yachts and also buy art, $1 million art pieces, and crazy stuff. So we're going to have Lee on Sunday. We're going to have Matt Taibbi on noon Eastern time, 12 p.m. Eastern, right here, Sunday. Put it in your calendar. Every Sunday is our GoFundMe marathon, Super Chat / GoFundMe. Last Sunday, we raised $6,000 thanks to one awesome donor who left $5,000, and the rest of you combined left $1,000. So let's keep it going. I know a lot of you are tapped out, but I am trying to give you the best guests every Sunday. I'm trying to give you the best stories. I'm trying to cover things no one else is covering. And all I ask is you show up at noon Eastern, and if you have the funds or you save some money for the end of the week to donate to Status Quo, because we are trying to raise money to get back in the field. And as a reminder, if you haven't seen, we're doing 2 cool contests. So first, let me tell you about our 165 You Pick contest. So right now we have 75 paid monthly members here at Status Quo. You can become a member by going to statusquo.com/join. And what we want to do is we want to basically take our slogan, giving the microphone back to the people, and put it into practice. So anyone that signs up as a new member here in January, I ask you to email Jordan at protonmail.com. So any new member who signs up, email Jordan at protonmail.com. It's right there. I put it in the live chat. And tell me what story you want to see me and Ty go cover in the field. It could be a story in your community. It could be a story somewhere else in the country. Sorry, no, nothing international. We just don't know. It could be pipeline related, could be corruption, could be anything. So you tell us, you pick. So all of you that sign up as a new member, again, you could do it right there at statuscoup.com/join. Send us the story. We're going to go through all of the submissions from new members at the end of the month if we hit 165 new members. And then we're going to pick the top story idea that you sent in, and Ty and I are going to hit the road on the story you are sending us out on. But we're not going to just stop there. So that's the top choice. We're going to pick from, hopefully, right now we're at 75, so hopefully we get to 165. But we're going to also take 9 others, so 10 in total. We're going to the stories you want to see covered. So it could be anything, really. So the top story, we're going to be going in the field based on what that winner tells us. And the 9 other stories we're going to cover on the channel. Probably we'll give an hour to it. And we'll probably want to interview you, too, whoever proposed the story, to get your thoughts, expertise, whatever, on the story. So that's the member contest. We had 10 people, actually, 10 new members sign up yesterday, which is pretty good for us. So if we could start getting 10 new members every day, I'll be happy as a clam. The other contest we're going to be doing long-term, not just for January, is our GoFundMe contest. So anybody that donates to GoFundMe, whether it's live, whether it's after our live streams, leave a comment why you're donating. So when you donate at GoFundMe, you could leave a comment why you're donating. I ask you to leave a comment as well as your email. We're going to go through all the comments every single week. And every single week, we're going to pick the comment that, let's say, inspired us the most, or made us laugh, or made us cry, whatever. What stood out to us, and we're going to reach out to you if you leave us your email in the comment. Leave us the comment and your email. We're going to reach out to you. We want to interview you and air it during our Sunday marathon live chats. So I'm really trying both to raise revenue and funds for Status Coup, but to also cover the things that you want to cover and to also bring more of you on the show, because I truly, truly do mean it. It's not just a bumper sticker. I mean it. We need to give the microphone back to the people. So, before I get to the next story, here's the link one more time. I'll put it right here in the live chat. And here is Status Coup's membership. I hope you consider membership, because that's how we're going to grow long. Do you need to donate to leave a suggestion? Yes, this is... No. The story idea suggestion is for new members. So definitely, if you become a new member, send us your story idea and you'll be eligible for us to go in the field. We're going to pick the best idea, and we're also going to be trying to interview viewers who donate to GoFundMe. So, Happy New Year to you, Marzan. So I've been covering here the just rampant propaganda that you're seeing in the corporate media. I mean, between the New York Times, the Washington Post, Politico, the New Yorker, the Daily Beast, the Associated Press, MSNBC, CNN. It's almost like they all got in a room and they just they just coordinate which day. So like New York Times, you have Monday. Washington Post, you're Tuesday. Politico, you're Wednesday. Associated Press, you're Thursday. Every day is a different hit piece on Bernie Sanders. And the majority of these pieces are factually inaccurate, are rank propaganda, and just totally insane. I mean, I've never seen this level of coordinated smears and propaganda against a political candidate. I've never. And I've been covering politics for a while. No, Ruth. You're not posting your email in the chat. You're not posting your email in the chat. When you donate to GoFundMe, okay? You have an option in GoFundMe to leave a comment. That comment only comes to us, Status Coup, not the audience. So I'm asking you, if you leave a comment, leave your email. Again, it will only be seen by us. So if we pick your comment as the comment of the week, then I can email you to set up an interview. When you put in your email with your GoFundMe comment, it's not going to be seen by the rest of the audience, just Status Coup. So my name is Love. I'm on disability. I guess my opinion means nothing? Never mind. Of course not. Of course your opinion means nothing. You could I ask people to send in story ideas anytime. This is just a higher level. So we're going to be taking your story suggestions, the top story idea that we pick from new members. We're going to hit the road covering it. But I cover stories a lot that I first got from viewers, so don't worry about it. So this corporate media propaganda it's exhausting. It's exhausting to have to debunk all this. And now NBC News has allowed one of the most serial liars / propagandists who shouldn't have a public forum at all, who shouldn't have a public forum because he's simply a propagandist. They are allowing him to publish basically nonsensical falsehoods about Bernie Sanders. Can you take a guess who this is that NBC News helped and let publish just total nonsense about Bernie Sanders? I'll give you a few minutes. He is connected to Hillary Clinton's world. He has lied about Bernie Sanders basically for 3 years, and he is known as one of basically the biggest smear artists in politics, other than Roger Stone, on the Democratic side. David, oh my God, Ernie, you got it right away. Ernie, you get the victory. David Brock. So NBC News lets David Brock publish this ridiculous piece. I ain't going to read the whole thing, but Bernie Sanders fans can't be allowed to poison another Democratic primary with personal attacks. First of all, he talks about Bernie Sanders like he's a musician. His fans, these aren't his fans. These are his voters, his supporters. And he pushes the bullshit narrative, bashing Beto O'Rourke and every other Democrat doesn't help liberals' cause in 2020. It only helps Trump. So right there, David Brock is basically using the Democratic Party playbook of thou shalt not criticize other Democrats. We need to be unified, which is another way of saying, please stop talking about the money we take from Wall Street. Please stop talking about the money we take from fossil fuel companies. Please stop talking about the money we take from Big Pharma. Please stop talking about the money. Oh, good point, Exhausted 11. I gave it away in the headline. I said it was David Brock. See, I'm not sleeping. Please stop talking about the money we give to Big Pharma. Please, please, please stop talking about the money we take from real estate developers who are gentrifying all of America and pushing poor people out. Please stop talking about the money we're taking from Facebook and Google and YouTube. Please stop attacking us for being corrupt. So, Ruth, Brock is a right wing in Democrat clothing. His opinion means nothing. I agree, but he is the leader of a paid troll army. You want to know who has more of an effect on politics? Russian trolls or Correct the Record? I'd go with Correct the Record. So, David Brock, he's pushing the same Hillary Clinton narrative that Bernie Sanders or progressives talking about Hillary Clinton or Beto O'Rourke's record, their donations, their voting record, is a personal attack. Of course, that's ludicrous. Bernie Sanders didn't talk about Hillary Clinton's wardrobe on the campaign trail. He didn't talk about Monica Lewinsky or any of that. He talked about she voted for the Iraq War. He talked about, well, she takes a lot of money from Wall Street, so how could you really be trusted to actually take it aggressively against Wall Street? That's her record. And this is what the Democratic corporate establishment does. They try and distract and deflect by saying if you call Beto O'Rourke or you call Hillary Clinton out or you call Joe Biden out. And by the way, Joe Biden is as bad as Hillary Clinton on all of the votes. He's as big of a warmonger. He voted for NAFTA. He drafted the crime bill that Bill Clinton signed. He drafted that crime bill that Hillary Clinton called black people super predators. He voted for welfare reform, voted to deregulate the banks, voted for the bankruptcy bill, which made it harder for single mothers and working people to get credit. He voted for a lot of terrible things. So now it's a personal attack. Personal attack. And remember, to those of you who haven't, press the like button. We have 193 people watching and only 145 likes. So we have about 50 likes to go, people. So those of you who haven't liked the stream, what are you doing? Good point, Blood Money. Joe Biden authored most of the Patriot Act, too. So I'll read you some of this. I'm hardly the only political observer who blames Hillary Clinton's general election defeat to Donald Trump in part on personal attacks on Clinton, first made by Bernie Sanders and his backers. Those attacks from her left laid the groundwork for copycat attacks lobbed by Donald Trump, and in the process, helped hand the Supreme Court to the right wing for a generation. Don't believe yourself? Don't believe me? Ask yourself who said that. And then he writes a list of things that Trump said, and some of them Bernie said. The ones that Bernie said are actually on policy. So like number 2, I don't think you're qualified if you get $15 million from Wall Street through your super PAC. That's not a personal attack. That's attack on her political decisions. So personal would be her personality, things like that. This is pointing out, how could you be trusted to regulate Wall Street, to prosecute Wall Street, to do anything against Wall Street when you've taken $15 million from Wall Street through a super PAC? Not a personal attack. But the thing that I really find amazing and rich about this, and shame on NBC News, but what do you expect? By the way, I've reached out to that journalist who left NBC News and basically on his way out wrote a memo calling them a bunch of warmongers and calling them out for the Trump circus. And by the way, see what happens? More of you press the like button. Now we're at 205 viewers. So the more people that press the like button, the more people who watch the video, the more people who see the live stream. So like. So isn't it rich that NBC News, which isn't news, it's basically an arm of the Democratic Party and establishment, isn't it rich that NBC News allows David Brock, who, not figuratively, literally, is in charge of a paid troll army. Correct the record, is a paid troll army that sends out disinformation, that has put out memes and disinformation and deflections and falsehoods about Bernie Sanders, about Nina Turner, about Tulsi Gabbard, about Keith Ellison, about me, about Jimmy Dore, about journalists they don't like, about politicians they don't like, that this man, that this scoundrel, that this smear artist is writing about Bernie Sanders and personal attacks? This is like going. This would be like going to Hitler and asking him what he thinks about, I don't know, empowering Jewish artists. It's insane. NBC News is literally publishing a propaganda artist who is in charge of a paid troll army. I could share my experience with you behind the scenes. So obviously I was let go from the Young Turks over a year ago. There was falsehoods put out there about me that I've already addressed several times. They weren't true. David Brock and Correct the Record did a coordinated attack on me during that process. So while I was already down with smears out there about me, calling me a rapist and all these things that just were not true, factually were not true, did not happen, David Brock and Correct the Record, I saw it because I see those bots. I've seen the same bots on other stories and going after other progressives. They were in a coordinated attack trying to prop up this falsehood about me. And I'm not covering David Brock because I have a grudge against him over that. I'm covering him because he's a propagandist who's toxic to our politics. You don't really need to be progressive, conservative, neoliberal. You should not support this kind of smear merchant. And as an example of this smear merchant, I don't typically play clips from the Young Turks, but I have no choice because this was me. Take a look at this question I posed him on the campaign trail in 2016 because Politico had broken a story that David Brock's super PAC, Correct the Record, was about to release an ad before the South Carolina primary smearing Bernie Sanders and suggesting that he's hiding something in terms of his health record. Take a look.
Super PAC might be releasing an ad this weekend about Bernie's medical records. Can you tell me about that?
No, we don't have any plan to do that.
No. So they're wrong?
No, they did have a plan to do that. He's lying.
Yeah, I didn't see that, actually.
Yeah, Politico has a story that you guys are calling for.
Basically, it's not an ad, and it's not calling for anything. It's, but I mean, I do think that, particularly for top-tier candidates, it's very usual that people will release their health records. And
But why are you guys bringing it up now, like 2 weeks before the caucus?
it's up to the Sanders campaign to decide that. We're not charging anything or calling for anything.
So it's not like we're nervous, so we got to bring up his health?
Definitely not. No.
And
So I want to give you a little behind the scenes here. And by the way, if I call out other people, I got to call myself out too. Those were my early days at TYT, and I didn't challenge him hard enough. So shame on me. I should have challenged him way harder than that. That was kind of the early days of me on the campaign trail. I think I was trying to be a little too diplomatic. I think now I'm a little bit more of a bulldog with some more years of experience under my belt. But I want to give you a little. I want to give you a little behind the scenes. And I'm really not saying this to be cruel. I'm saying this so you truly understand. I've interviewed probably 1,500 to 2,000 people over the last 3 years, most of them in the field. I have never interviewed anybody up close with worse breath than David Brock. Again, this has nothing to do with his corruption and being a propagandist. This guy has the worst breath I have ever had in my face in my life. And I've had some bad breath in my face on the campaign trail. Honestly, if you look up the word halitosis, David Brock has halitosis. You could call me a mean man for saying that. You could say I'm smearing him or a personal attack. But I have to tell you, it was hard to keep a straight face. His breath was overpowering me. I remember telling my cameraman, Eric, like, I need to go to the hospital. So I just want to put that out there. So David Brock, maybe go to a doctor. Because you have great health care as opposed to the majority of the country. So David Brock was basically, and I'm trying not to say the word literally too much because I've been called out. Jordan, you say literally too much. So David Brock, who's sitting here talking about Bernie Sanders and his fans and their attacks, their personal attacks, through his super PAC, he got caught. Politico reported that he was about to do it, and Hillary Clinton's campaign admonished him because they were getting criticized for it. He was about to put out basically like a swift boat ad. You know how they swift boated John Kerry in the 2004 election? Insinuating that there's something Bernie Sanders hiding about his health right before the Iowa caucus. And you want to talk about personal attacks? You want to talk about manipulations? You want to talk about just straight up gutter politics? Yeah, dog breath Brock. I'm not trying to be mean. I just like giving you a little behind the scenes. So there's a few people that I've interviewed that had really bad breath, and he was the top. He was the worst. Honestly, I don't know if I'd even challenge him again unless I had something to put over my nose. It's so bad. Just keeping it real. So I'll read you a little bit more of this nonsense. And now, though the 2018 Democratic presidential primary has only just begun, those same long knives, mostly courtesy of supporters of Sanders' prospective candidacy, are out for outgoing Congressman Beto O'Rourke of Texas, charging that he's not a true progressive. Because he's not. And it's not a personal attack. He's not a progressive. He votes with Trump 30% of the time. He voted to offshore drilling. He voted to lift the cap on the export ban. He's voted for other fossil fuel goodies. He's voted to deregulate Wall Street. I mean, this is not a progressive. It might be David Brock's kind of progressive, but it's not an actual progressive. The reason for these preemptive attacks, which has the markings of a coordinated effort. Do you hear this, man? Does he have no self-awareness? A coordinated effort? This guy runs, correct the record, he runs a paid troll army. You know what a paid troll army is? Coordinated attacks every single day. And this man is talking about coordinated attacks from Bernie Sanders supporters? David Sirota writes a piece for The Guardian that I thought was a great piece. By the way, I've reached out to him to interview him for Status Coup. He goes through Beto O'Rourke's voting record. I mean, it's hardly like an evil cabal of progressives in a back room, like coordinating to take down Beto O'Rourke. Frankly, I ain't worried about Beto O'Rourke. He's the hot girl at the dance for this dance. Come 2020, once Beto O'Rourke's message is out there, I'm not worried about Beto O'Rourke. We've seen this play before. We've seen this movie before. It's called Barack Obama and Hope and Change. Nobody's buying that again. The masses are not buying Beto O'Rourke in 2020. So he's just lying, and he's talking about coordinated attacks. There was no coordinated attack. Bernie-crats seem determined to dust off the same destructive playbook this time around. Oh, destructive playbook. Like trying to send out an ad before the Iowa caucus insinuating that Bernie Sanders is dying or Bernie Sanders is hiding his medical history. Even though the attacks against O'Rourke are flimsy and misleading, O'Rourke unseated a conservative Democrat in a primary and never tacked right in an election in deep red Texas. He has run in favor of federal legislation to legalize marijuana and the impeachment of Trump. Okay, so case closed because he's for legalizing weed and impeaching Donald Trump. He's progressive. Notice those two issues have nothing to do with economic inequality. Well, legalizing marijuana has to do a lot with the high incarceration rate among African Americans. Has nothing to do with income inequality. Has nothing to do with money in politics. Has nothing to do, well, a little bit. But big picture, the issues he's talking about have nothing to do with the Democratic Party and Wall Street, have nothing to do with the fossil fuel industry, have nothing to do with big pharma, have nothing to do with big real estate developers buying off the politicians, have nothing to do with Silicon Valley buying off the politicians. So these issues make Beto O'Rourke a progressive. And although he fails their litmus test on free college tuition, their claims that his support is weak for Medicare for All don't match his record. As Senate candidate, he said he would vote for it. David Brock, apparently NBC News doesn't have like editors editing these pieces and fact checking because he moonwalked away from Medicare for All. After he won the primary, he didn't talk about Medicare for All. He wouldn't talk about Medicare for All. He started using talking points like affordable health care, access to health care, the same thing Andrew Gillum in Florida did. But NBC News doesn't care. They just put out a propagandist, let him publish whatever the hell he wants, and that's it. And by the way, what's ironic, David Brock is writing this now, but this isn't what David Brock was saying at the beginning of 2017, after the 2016 election, when David Brock realized, well, maybe we need to make inroads with these progressive Bernie Sanders voters. Maybe we need to play nice with them this time. Dear Senator Sanders, I'm with you in the fight ahead. He was with Bernie then. Bernie wasn't attacking anyone personally then. Bernie was good then. Now Bernie's bad. Bernie's bad, and Bernie's fans are bad. We don't want Bernie's fans. And it's interesting because somebody in the live chat just said, who cares about David Brock? It's actually, that's kind of a dangerous thing to say. I'll tell you why it's important. I get your point, but David Brock and people like him play a huge part in the propaganda war that we're going to be facing, that the progressive movement is going to be facing, that Bernie Sanders is going to be facing, that Bernie Sanders supporters is going to be facing. David Brock and Correct the Record play a huge part in this propaganda war. Huge part. Because they have things like Correct the Record. They are going to be feeding things to the media when Bernie announces his run and planting stories with the media that the media is then going to just regurgitate and be stenographers for. That's what they did with 2016, and that's what they're going to do in 2020 because the media doesn't care if it's true. The media wants to hurt Bernie Sanders and progressive candidates because the media is owned by corporate conglomerates. That's the truth. That's the truth. So I will update you, and I will continue to keep on informing you and debunking all of this bullshit. If you have the stomach for it, here's the article. If you want to tweet about it or Facebook about it or call him a liar. And as a reminder, don't go near David Brock. His breath might kill you. Just keeping it real. So I have to end a little early today. I have to go visit a friend who's in the hospital. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, for those of you who might have not seen, we have a big show this Sunday. We're going to have Lee Camp on from Redacted Tonight. We're also going to have Matt Taibbi of Rolling Stone Magazine. This all kicks off Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern, our marathon GoFundMe marathon, 12 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 11 a.m. Central time, 10 a.m. Mountain time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, whatever time and whatever country you live in, because we have a lot of foreign viewers as well. We love you in Denmark. We love you all over, wherever you are. Sweden. We have a lot of people. So Lee Camp's going to be on. Matt Taibbi is going to be on. We're also going to have Steve Grumbine from Real Progressives to talk MMT. A lot of you have been asking me to do more on MMT. I talked to him for an hour. Really, really interesting interview. I hope you don't wait till Sunday. I hope all of you will try and contribute to that GoFundMe. The more we get in the GoFundMe, the more we're going to be able to grow, the more we're going to be able to cover Bernie Sanders' campaign, because like I told you, I do have sources that have informed me he will be announcing his run for president in the coming weeks. And also, please, 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 there's the link. Please consider becoming a member every month, as low as $5 a month, $10 a month. You get different things for different levels. Membership is how we're going to grow long term. We got 10 new members yesterday, which was awesome. I'd love to keep it up, getting 10 to 15 new members a day. If we could keep those numbers up, then we stay truly independent. If we can't keep those numbers up, there won't be any status quo long term, because I'm not taking money from special interests and corporations. So I hope you'll consider becoming a member. And remember, if you become a member, email Jordan at protonmail.com. Email Jordan at protonmail.com. After you become a member, tell us your story idea that you'd like to see us go out in the field and cover. And at the end of January, if we hit that 165 members number, right now we're at 75. So if we hit the 165 member number, we need 95 more. We are going to pick the number one new member story idea, and we're going to go in the field where you would like us to. Thank you for watching. I'll see you Sunday, noon Eastern time. And remember, most people in this country are not lacking compassion. Most people have no fucking idea what the hell is going on. Peace out.